Hello there, my name is PolishLynx and welcome to Chaos Girl 2 Zone 0. Let's continue this story and see how it will develop, hopefully with less fails this time. Okay, so well, my name was this and it still is. Boom. And I'll get chaos. The rain was like ice. As we dashed over the city skyline and the determined look in Ami's bright, smoky blue eyes. Where are we going? Ami hesitates for a moment before answering. Zone 0, she answers coldly. Zone 0. The laboratory that I came from. The facility that did this to me. The sound of thunder and rain drowns out of the roar of Tokyo's traffic crawling beneath us. It was almost like we were in a world of our own. There it is, Ami whispers, pointing towards a secluded building hidden amongst tall trees and buildings. Ami steadily descends before the laboratory. We hit the ground in a toot. Am I the only one stressed a little bit about this place? I mean, why did you bring me here? She stares at me for a moment before answering. There are others in there. Other people like me. Well, that was predictable. To be honest, I expected something like the area that is basically super old and devastated by time. But well, I might be wrong about this now, I guess. She turns back to me with a glimmer in her eyes. We have to save them. I think for a moment before nodding my head. I'd already come this far. I'd always want to achieve something in my life that was worth something. Maybe this was finally my chance. Lucky you. Kind of. We walk closer to the building, then hide behind a row of tall bushes. I signal for Ami to stay low and quiet. I look after the building's entrance and see a pair of guards standing with rifles held against their chests. There are armed security guards blocking the front entrance, I whisper to Ami. Ami thinks for a moment before replying. They've probably been on high alert since I escaped. I gulp and kneel back down. What's the plan, Chief? Say what? Well, that's true, we probably are where the main entrance is, so look for another way in. We should look for another way in. We have to try to keep a low profile. Amy shrugs. That's probably a good idea. She grabs my hand and soars over the building. Yeah, definitely won't be noticed. How about there? She asks, pointing towards a small unguarded back entrance. I nod and we swoop down before the large metal door. As Amy whispers a spell, the door melts before us. Maybe you could just, use the doorknob and enter. Okay, we cautiously step in the building. It was like a wide tiled maze of hallways and doors. We slowly pace down the hallways, careful to avoid security cameras and guards. Here, she whispers to me, motioning a large circular metal door. They keep every subject in our own secure cell. Subject 32, I read aloud. The characters were written across the door in bold black letters. Subject 32, Amy repeats, trailing off. Did you know them? Shia. I never met him, but... She hesitates before continuing. I know that he's dangerous. I heard rumors from the other test subject that he's killed almost 100 Zone 0 of staff members. I scan the door and note several threatening warning signs stuck across it. Extreme danger, do not open without proper authorization. I look over at Amy. Was releasing him a good idea? She shakes her head slightly as if reading my mind and motions for me to stand back. Hakai-su! As the door explodes into metal pieces, a deafening alarm starts screeching throughout the facility. Amy grabs my hand and quickly pulls me into the cell. The room was like a dome, painted a bright white. It was completely empty aside from a young teenage boy, standing head down in the center of the room. He was tied down by thick, powerful-looking chains. We had to act fast. "Shia!" Amy calls over to him. The boy twitches before lifting his head. I step back in horror as I see what was left of his tortured, bloody face. Mostly bone. What flesh was left seemed as though it was ready to peel off at any moment. His dark, pitch-black eyes stare at us. We're here to save you," Amy calls to him as we walk over. "To save everyone." A grin curls across his disgusting face. It was like something from a horror film. "Thank you," he simply says. He says simply in a deep, emotionless voice. As Amy steps over to him, I grab her arms. She looks back at me. "Arthur, what's wrong?" I look from her to the boy. He was looking me dead in the eyes. A shiver runs down my spine. "You said it was, I whisper to her. Shia breaks into a hearty laugh as he overhears me. Amy opens her mouth to respond before quickly pushing me aside. "Sukeruton whisper!" I turned to see a crowd of guards had finally appeared at the doorway, so much for low profile. Blood splatters the floor as Amy's spell turns their skins inside out. "Ah!" Amy screams as she falls to the floor. A scientist steps into the cell holding a taser. He was wearing a long white lab coat and appeared to be in his 60s. Shaking violently at the floor, Amy stares up at him in anger. "You!" A bunch of guards run into the room and lift up Amy from the floor, holding her at gunpoint. "Who is he?" I shoot to Amy. As she goes to reply, a guard smarts her face with his gun. The scientist chuckles and begins to walk over to me. "One more step and you're dead." "If you and your friend are really subject for two, then we're all dead," he retorts calmly. He straightens up his lab coat and leans down facing me. "Tell your friend to stand down," he spits at her. "Stand down?" Confused, my eyes dart around the room. I look beside me and notice a lever labeled "Release" on a small console. Amy looks over to me and shakes her head. If I pull this thing. "Arthur, don't listen to him! We have to save everyone here! You know what we've gone through! This man is sick, twisted liar!" I feel my body instantly drenching in sweat. Panicking, I grab the lever and go to pull it. "No!" the old man screams. "We're all dead if you pull the lever!" I look over to the old man. I could see large, afraid eyes behind his foggy glasses. Was he one in charge of this whole thing? The leader of the Zone Zero? The man who cursed me with these sick, horrific powers? I glanced over to Shia. His head had returned staring at the floor, his black hair covering his nightmare face. I could hear him breathing heavily. "Do not release him! You have to listen to me!" "He's trying to trick you, Arthur! Please, pull it!" Boom. I closed my eyes and pulled down the lever. "No!" Shia chuckles as the chains release from his wrists and fall down to the floor in a toot. The old man cries out in pain as his body explodes in bright red blood. Shia looks up with a smirk stretched across his bony face, like a shark grins at a two-feet smile. "Thank you," he spits at us before breaking out into a run. Amy quickly screams a spell, causing black flames to erupt around the room, pushing Shia into the wall. She jumps in front of me and locks into defensive position as Shia stumbles to his feet. "Shia, please! We can free everyone! We can destroy Zone Zero together!" With a grunt, he jumps up in the air and screams a bloody screech. "Koroshimasu!" At the sound of his words, thousands of blades tear into existence and dig into Amy. She cries out in pain and falls to the ground. Shia dashes over toward me, arms raised above his head. I stand, horrified, awaiting my death. "Arthur!" Amy leaps over in front of me, but it's too late. I feel a giant blade digging into my chest. I drop to my knees and blood pours out of my body. Amy kneels beside me as I feel death begin to wash over. She looks deep into my eyes, crystal tears dripping down onto what was left of my torn, destroyed body. "I'm sorry," she whispers softly. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Shia speed off down the hallway. What had we just unleashed of the innocent citizens nearby? Amy and I lay together hopelessly, dreading the destruction we had just unleashed on this city. With a whimper, I breathed my last cold, precious breath. Ending 4, that's a lot of endings. Again. I can jump, okay, don't release him then. I sigh and release my fingers from around the lever. I turn to the scientist and raise my hands in the air. He looks me up and down before chuckling softly. Good. The man moves forward and the guards shoot at Shia. As hundreds of bullets did through his chest, he cries out in pain and falls to the ground. His body turns for a moment before going limp. How could you? I thought I could trust you. Amy screams and summons a jolt of thunder, throwing the guards surrounding her backwards. One by one, they splatter into pools of blood. Amy darts over, grabbing me by my neck with both hands. You killed him! He was just like me! I hopelessly gasp for breath as Amy tightens her grip around my neck. Amy, please, I stammer as blood rushes to my head. She closes her eyes and drops me to the floor. Amy, I was scared, as man said. Shut up! Amy spits at me, turning to look at Shia's dead body. I don't need you anyway, she whispers coldly as she steps over toward me. She was shaking with rage. I watch frozen as she raises her left hand up to my heart. As she screams a spell, my heart bursts through my ribcage and out of my chest. Everything was covered in red. Amy grabs it and throws it aside. I instantly drop to the floor in a red heap. I watch Danka's twisted green tears across her bloodied face. God damn it! Why do I need to get all the bad endings? Alright, guess we have to take out the guards. We don't really have choice, I whisper motion toward the guards. A psychopathic grin runs across Amy's face. She, Kasai! The two guards shred apart, blood splattering the wet pavement. Amy grabs my hand and jumps to the glass doors. As we leap through, I fall to the ground in a pile of glass. I quickly leap up and regain composure. Armed guards surround us from all sides. Oh shh. Surrender immediately, a guard shouts out to us in a deep voice. I look over to Amy. She lifts her arms above her head and screams out another spell. She, Kasai! Her words like a pyromanic shower the guards in flames. I drop to my knees in disgust as I watch the men stumble toward their death. Burned alive by flames, they fall one by one. I feel Amy place her hand on my shoulder. Arthur, come on! Great. I shake my head and sit up, trying to ignore the smell of death and meat lingering in the bloody hallway. Subject 44! We both jump and look toward the voice. It belonged to an old man in long, white lab coat. He wore small, foggy glasses. Amy jumps in front of me and locks into a defensive stance. Her voice shakes as she replies to him. You! Amy's body lights up in blue flame as she gazes at the man in pure hatred. You know what's blue flame, right? Blue flame is not the normal flame. It's actually a demonic flame. Actually, the flame of Satan. At least that's how it is in anime. Please calm down. We don't need any more bloodshed. You monster! The man takes a step back and looks her dead in the eyes. Such power, he whispers in awe. She takes a step forward to him, holding her hand to his throat. You did this to me, she screams in rage. You made me into this! I grab Amy and pull her back. The man shakes his head slowly. No, no one did this to you, he explains calmly. He adjusts his glasses and steps closer towards us. You were born like this. Amy stares at him coldly. After your birth, your parents reported you were different. After some procedures and tests, we found that you were one of the Armageddon children. Whoa. Armageddon children? The man looks over to me for the first time. One of the beings sent by Satan, the Dark Lord, to destroy this world. Yeah, I was correct. Just the blue flame took me to that direction. I fell back in shock and buried my face in my hands. This was. Amy looks over toward me with tears forming her eyes. He's lying, she screams as the flames engulfing her body slowly fade away. No, Subject 44, I'm not. Zone 0 didn't create you. We hid you. We protected the world from you. Amy falls to her knees in a scream. Amy, The man bends down to help Amy up, but she shoves him away and jumps to her feet. "You're a liar!" she screams in a bloody rage. "Liar!" I jump from Amy and grab her by the shoulders. "Amy, calm down." She bows her head, her rage-filled eyes hiding behind her dark brown hair. "You don't believe him, do you?" I look over to the scientist. He was standing on me, peering at us both through his foggy glasses. "Please." "This will lead to the bread and but I believe her, okay? Kill him." "No, that's not what I wanted to do, and sorry for the movement of the screen for a second. I'm grasping before darting toward the man. "Shinmaken!" Two curling black blades fade into existence and plunge to his chest. Over and over, Amy stops to him, blood drenching the deathly scene. Covered in blood, Amy falls to her knees in exhaustion. "Finally, the monster is dead!" she huffs, spitting onto his destroyed body. Amy looks up at me. "Commander, we have to free the other test subject imprisoned here." I nod my pale head and watch her run off down the hallway. My vision was hazy, my heart was pounding. I stumble over the man and kneel beside him. His face was pale and painted in warm, thick blood. His eyes look up to me. After a moment of eye contact, he whispers something inaudibly. I shake my head and lean closer towards him. "You fool!" I lean back in horror as I watch the man exhale his final breath. I snap and go to follow Amy, but a crowd of teenage male and female suddenly bursts into the hall. Amy flies out above with them and with a weak smile engulfing her face. "We're finally free!" she shouts with a series of chants and cheers. I watch as the test subjects walk out of the lab and onto the busy streets of Tokyo. Helplessly I follow them out. As I feel cold rain spit at me like gunfire, I stared up into the cold Friday sky. Hundreds of figures dance amongst the rain, fluttering like an army into the city's skyline. Shaking, I collapse to my knees. That's probably not the ending we wanted. So... oh. I don't know, this is the one? No, that wasn't the one. Alright, so quickly we have to skip. Sorry about that. Again, scene. Okay, this one? Okay, let's believe him and we'll see. I believe him. He looks up at me in disgust. I feel my arm break as she shows me to the ground. "How could you?" she spits at me. Amy leaps into the air and tears drool from above us. The cold, hard rain starts beating the building. The man looks back at me with a wild grin torn into his wrinkled face. In one motion, he pulls out a knife from within his pocket and holds it up to my pulsing neck. "Subject 44, surrender yourself or I will slit his throat," she shouts out to her. She looks down at us with tears dripping down her cheeks. As every moment passes by, I feel the knife go closer and closer to my neck. "Just go!" I shout her. She jumps and gazes in my eyes. We hold eye contact for a few moments before the scientist's words slice the silence in two. "Very well." As the metal tears across my throat, a pool of blood pours out of my neck and over my school uniform. The man releases his grip as I fall to the floor. I felt as though I was drowning in my blood. My eyes dart around the room helplessly. For a split second, I hold eye contact with Amy. What horrific eyes they were. Okay, I guess that would be all endings because there can't be any more, right? So yeah, I guess from the ending that was known as ending 2 and the ending that we got as the third one here will be the one from which we'll continue in Chaos Girl 3, but I don't remember how that title goes onward. So for now, hope you enjoyed it and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.